Disruptions to the upcoming Daytona 500 on Sunday are still very much so on the table. And today I want to dissect a little bit more exactly what types of impacts we should be forecasting and preparing for here in Central Florida, as well as the potential we will see those wet weather delays. I want to start us off right now with the GFS, because the GFS has kind of started to lead the herd in terms of suggesting most of our impacts will occur after the sun goes down very late Sunday night, but more so during the first 8 to 12 hours of our Monday. You take the model out in time, and you can see here that as the system rolls in, watch the timestamp at the top there. This is as we get into the middle portions of Sunday. Kind of looks like the front gets hung up off our immediate west coastline, funneling in some tremendous rainfall amounts to the Florida Panhandle and the Big Bend area. And mind you, I really do think we will have a moderate to severe thunderstorm risk with this feature as well, just given the temperature gradient that we have out in front of it. There's a lot of warmth. When I say things like temperature gradient, it's a difference between what's going on out in front of that blue cold front and what's happening behind it. And while the cold front doesn't have a lot of coldness with it, we are seeing that above average warmth that's been blanketing us for the last couple days here in town, only increasing incrementally as we go into this weekend. It isn't until as the sun sets and we prepare for daybreak on Monday, the front ends up directly overhead. You can see the model kind of comes to a halt at 3 a.m., and a large majority of the Central Florida viewing area still hasn't seen the effects roll into us quite yet. The euro, on the other hand, is a totally different story. As we continue through time, similar setup. You can see all the warmth building in and in front of the system. Euro actually going with a bit of a stronger solution, I'll add. Then by noon, the lunch hour, you can see that the cold front is already right over top the Tallahassee area, probably rocking with some gusty intermittent winds and stronger thunderstorms, thunder and lightning. Heavy rainfall totals piling up anywhere between 1 to 2 inches in a very short period of time. And then as we get close to the green flag waving around 2:30, look at how those rains really start to spread out over the northern half of our Florida peninsula, kind of hugging the northwest corner of our viewing area right up against the I-4 corridor there by 3 p.m. And then we're clearing out almost opposite of what the GFS is suggesting as we get into late Sunday night and then Monday morning. So we're going to continue to fine tune this forecast. I will openly say, it does seem like the euro is kind of falling behind a little bit. The artificial intelligence European model is kind of trending a bit more towards the GFS solution, making this a nocturnal event, late Sunday night, starting anywhere between 7 to 9 p.m., lasting into early Monday morning. Believe it or not, the new artificial intelligence GFS model is also in line with this. Other lesser-known models like the Canadian and the German model are also trying to make this a nighttime setup here in Central Florida, which goes both ways. I love to mention that Mother Nature is all about giving and taking. While the Daytona 500 may not see any significant disruptions if we do go with these later solutions, it's going to allow the heating of the day to really take place over the Sunshine State. Literally, the sun is going to help to ramp things up and give these storms a little bit more energy to work with. While it's still too far in advance, we want to make sure we continue to watch what Storm Prediction Center has for us in terms of the severe weather potential. Looking at the ingredients and the dynamics we have in play, however, I would not rule out the potential for isolated gusty winds of about 40 miles an hour, as well as frequent cloud-to-ground lightning and pockets of heavier rainfall that will end up in some urban and roadway ponding just because of how dry it's been out there. Which, again, that give-and-take mechanism, great for the drought we're feeling, not so great if we're trying to avoid wet weather delays on Sunday or any kind of commute impacts on Monday morning.